been a few days, but we're back.
From Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte,
We're
North
back.
Carolina.
We're back. We're back.
It's the NFC Championship.
Oh yeah, it's NFC Championship game. Two bad teams this season. Okay, teams. Two teams you would least expect it made it to the NFC Championship. The 2 seed and 4 seed.
Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Minnesota Vikings.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis.
These guys played each other twice so far in my series. Last time they played in the playoffs, the Panthers won 20-14.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies
Now they're
in my
playing the
stomach,
conference
they're not wins in this
championship.
one. And every guy that
How
I
will
talked
this
to
go?
has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. Forced out to his left. They'll have a first down.
And how about that? The Broncos got Russell Wilson today. You saw that coming.
Now it's 1st and 10
Everyone
at the
thought.
49-yard line.
Everyone thought it would be Rodgers, so Broncos and Packers fans ended up happy.
Back over the middle.
Had a
And
good
it's
for them.
caught at the 10-yard line. Now on 1st and goal, a chance to get a leg up in this NFC title game. Now Lawrence. And he's going to go down just outside the 5, right around the 6-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards there on the play as that'll lead to a 2nd and goal.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
Oh, you get it.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
No good. It's up and no good.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
Sam Darnold.
That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come
There's
into a game on the
Darnold's
road.
play.
You're trying to get things to go
I
your
didn't-
way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
On first down, Darnold steps away to his left.
Let's see if he can lead his team to the Super Bowl for a second time. He's already won the Super Bowl once.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time, when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
A minute left in the second quarter. We're still scoreless.
First time tonight. Fielded just inside the 30. Yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with 40 seconds to go, that's, you'd think, time enough to try to mount a drive should they decide to do so. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Lawrence, buying time to his left. His throw here is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He's got a first down past the 30. And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I gotta say, if it's gonna be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. He's gonna
1 second to go.
He takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, and it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that can spark a big burst right here.
So we've reached halftime here in the
Nothing.
NFC Championship.
Halftime.
As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And they have work to do.
What a great matchup it would be if it was Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow. They were all hyped right now. Match of Super
and then
Bowl
demonstrating it by not
when they
making a
play
lot of
back in
drastic
college.
changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year
We could
long.
have Sam
That should
Darnold.
be more than good enough.
Don't forget about these waiters. These waiters could still.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and
You know how this
incomplete.
season's going.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. And knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to them,
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at about the 28.
Oh,
And they try
no.
to razzle-dazzle, but the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they try to lateral, but it doesn't work.
Let
It's a
the
loose
Vikings
ball.
have it. What was that?
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. I think you're exactly right.
We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked up there at 32. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether your quarterback wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Sam Darnold's already won 1 Super Bowl. We'll win 2.
After the interception, here's Darnold, forced out to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Will he make it to a 2nd?
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
From the 29, under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. This first running back, the ball.
Touchdown.
A great effort there. 31 yards. And the Panthers have taken the lead here in this NFC Championship game.
Finally got a touchdown.
Get the ball to the perimeter to the wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Play after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl.
7-3,
We'll
4th
return with
quarter.
more after this, you're watching the NFL.
This has
on the
been
Sports.
one heck of a defensive game. Old school football.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. A field goal won't help. They need a touchdown to send them to the Super Bowl as they've got it 1st and 10.
Well, I want to use Vikings. See if they can do it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Oh,
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This Vikings
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. Throwing one incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect
Oh
pressure
my
here.
God.
That's caught by Palmer.
Oh, that'll be out of
That'll be
bounds.
out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run.
I can hear the film session right now. I can hear the coach saying to his team, guys, how does a guy that big get that open?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Imagine him as a kid, just trying to play hide and seek.
No chance.
No chance. He goes to hide behind the skinny tree. You see the front, the back, the top. Good luck.
Yeah, you see him. You don't see the tree.
He's back to throw. He's got his target. It's Humphreys. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
Back to throw. Being chased out left. And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left.
Touchdown!
This is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts him in front here.
What a
little
drive.
bit. You got to
What a
rally your
drive.
kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game of the 4th. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And the time of factor here late, they'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. The Carolina offense about ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases,
Vikings
the great
have gone
competitors,
good
they
one.
love
Now,
this situation.
2 points ahead.
They can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Darnold steps away. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Darnold. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and second down. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. That's complete. Left side to Bateman. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Darnold to throw.
Touchdown, Panthers!
And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. So with next to nothing left on the clock, they get Charles what should be the game-winning touchdown catch.
That feels so much like practice and preparation coming together. So many times your last practice of the week, you score the game-winning touchdown. Everyone leaves the field feeling good about themselves. They got it done for real in this situation.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's no good. But it could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get
Final
something
drive.
quick right
Want
and
it.
then maybe take that shot deep. And it's
That's it.
intercepted. Picked off near the 42.
Panthers are heading to the Super Bowl. Panthers.
Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just...
What a game.
Yeah, that's the nature
Right,
of a 2-minute drill.
this
They have been
Panthers
trying to go down the
defense,
field and make their plays.
and it will be the
But
Carolina
defenses, they're
Panthers
sitting back
that
watching
will be
everything
heading
that they
back
do,
to the Super Bowl
but not
for
too
the first
far
time
back. They want
since
to be in
the
position
Super
to make
Bowl
a play
win
on the ball,
in
and
Super Bowl
that they did.
57.
1st and 10 and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Darnold. He's got it. The tight end Allen.
It's over! Panthers come to the Super Bowl!
Goes. And what a ride it has been. NFC
Panthers!
champs have punched their ticket to the
Waiters
biggest
for
show in
Bengals.
sports.
Who will
And
it
what a way to
play?
get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the
Sam
Super Bowl
Darnold
and the right to
and
call
the
themselves
Panthers.
NFC
I
champs.
was a few feet away from
Elation
them
has
once.
to abound.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Oh, I know, he did it.